In May of 1982, teenagers of a congregation in Topeka, Kansas, destroyed thousands of dollars worth of records and tapes, which they felt contained the message of Satan.
I think that within the rock music field, you've got people who really are into the occult and into Satan. They're propagating Satan. They're propagating the demonic line, the occultic world, and I think it's a devastating thing on our culture.
Is Satan rampant in rock? To some, the answer is obvious. Skull-headed monsters and demon-like figures are probably the most blatant. And there is the number 666, also known as the mark of the beast, the symbol belonging to the Antichrist, who, the Bible tells us, is Satan.
I was playing around with one of my favorite synths called Hammer. It's made by ImageLine. And one of my favorite little things with a Hammer is that you can take an image, any image, load it into the synthesizer, and it starts to generate characteristics of that image across the frequency spectrum. So essentially what you're able to do is insert an image into a wave file, but you need a spectrograph to be able to see it, right? So I found this picture of the number 6, and I put it over the bass part. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a big problem with that there, is that we've got this big giant gap in the middle. So I grabbed Hammer again, and I made another interesting bass using this really interesting image I found on the internet of a star, but it was kind of upside down. Now, at this point, I'm giggling like a child. So much so that Jess, my wife, actually heard the giggling. She came and she said, "What on earth are you doing?" And she snapped at me at this moment where I had this really childish kind of look on my face. Of course, it's a bit of fun, right? You gotta have fun on these projects. But don't worry, I did the thing that any responsible composer would do. I saved it, I put it into Wise, I put it into the game, and I sent it off. And I didn't tell anybody about it. What's the worst that can happen, right? I mean, for anybody to see that, they'd have to crack open the game, pull out the Wise files, and run every single file through a spectrograph and find that single bass part. It's never going to happen, right?
So it doesn't get any clearer than that with all the pentagrams and the 666 right there. They're letting you know, here's our allegiance to Satan, and your children are listening to this.
But wait, there's more. I was working on this drone sound. Now, I had this idea one day that I wonder if I can hide a message in there somehow. What happens if I put something in the center and then took a little bit of information from one side of the channel and put that into the other side of the channel and then flip the phase? And what happens is if somebody listens back to that in mono, they get this. Literally there, that's exactly the same sound I just played before, but played back in mono. And what's that all about?
Government investigation has found subliminal messages on certain albums when played in reverse.
Ah. So what happens if we play that in reverse?
Jesus loves you.
Bye.